All right, welcome everybody. I haven't done a free call in a while, and I thought it was time. It's a good week. I don't know. I'm a little slower. Maybe you're not. Um, and I was kind of sick this week, so I'm like just kind of chilling. So thanks for asking if I'm still holding this. Yeah, I can put makeup and hair on for like an hour and then be good, and then go sit on the couch or whatever. But yeah, I want to talk about book marketing, publishing. I think all of you could be at a different level. So happy to make this an interactive type of a call. I'd love to see a show of hands, either electronically or in the chat, put a one or something. If you already have a book or you're in a compilation book already, because that counts. So if you already have a book, open up the chat and put a number one or just raise your hand. I guess we could just put number one, whatever. Hey, Grace. Grace, put a number one in the chat because I know you're already an author. And that was the question. Let's see. Michelle. Okay, good. Who else? Jaylene. Is that how you say your name? Where'd you go? Uh,
Jolene,
Jaylene.
Jolene,
Okay, thanks. Not so much emphasis on the A. Jaylene. Okay, so one, two. I know we have Grace, you're an author, so put one in the chat. Who else has a book? I don't know. Nobody else. Okay, that's fine. Um, and so we can talk today about the options, right? There's so many different ways to write a book. You can write your own solo book, and then what kind of book do you write, right? Do you write your story? Do you write your like insights and your business knowledge? Do you combine them together? Do you write just a little tip book? Do you write a memoir, which kind of I consider your story? Do you write a children's book or a fiction book? Oh my God. I have a client, soon to be client, I think, who is writing like five different types of books. I'm like, oh my God, how does your brain work? I don't even know. Like he's writing a fiction book, like a nonfiction. I don't even know. Like so many different kinds of books. And I'm like, all at the same time. And I'm like, I don't know how you're doing that, but good luck to you. And I'm happy to help. But one at a time is usually my strategy because it gets done. I'm all about getting shit done, right? Whether it's your book or your business, your marketing, your sales, whatever it is, let's get it done so that it can actually do good for you. So I look at book. I'm just some of you already know this, but I never wanted to become an author. Um, I started my business 23 years ago and I wanted to help people grow their businesses, marketing, sales, that kind of thing, doing all the things that was help them make more money, right? That was my goal. I'm like, why do I want to stop and write a freaking book? It sounds like it's going to take forever, right? Like that just doesn't compute. And it's going to sell for like $15, $20. Well, that's just silly. I can sell something for 200, 2,000, or $20,000. Why would I want to stop and write a book? And then a lot of my friends were getting on stages because, oh, they had a book, or they were getting on TV way back when. And it was very common back then. It's still common to get on TV, but they were on TV for a book. And I'm like, oh, use it as a marketing tool. Got it. Okay, so let's hurry up and write a book so I can have a marketing tool to get me on more stages, get me on TV. And I did that many, many times. As you all know, I have many, many books. Now, I really only wrote two full books. Okay. I don't have them here. Oh, here's the first ones. These were the first editions, right? The Love Yourself Successful first edition and the Jumpstart Your New Business Now first edition. They both have second edition now because instead of writing another book, I just added to these. They're like double the size now. And I relaunched them and redid them. And frankly, the covers are better now. But um, so I have technically that counts as four because first edition, but whatever you want to do, that's how I'm counting it. And then the rest of them are all compilation books. So I wrote a chapter in a compilation book. 18 times. 18 times I wrote in a compilation book. You'd think, oh, you only need one. Why would you do so many? Because it's fun to promote in a compilation book and fun to be uh, in a collaboration with a bunch of other people in that way. And think of all the other people's audiences I'm getting in front of because they're promoting their book. that I'm in with them. So, and it gets out on social a lot, and people love supporting author book launches. So, I do a lot of those. Up until a year or two ago, I started doing, and a lot of you, Grace is in, what color are you in? Are you in the teal book or the green book?
It's the teal one.
The teal book. Okay,
Yeah.
I have that one here. Let me see. Uh, no, you're not in the teal one. This is
Oh,
the.
then I'm in the green book. Sorry. Oh my goodness. I've got two of those books at home
I
and I don't
started
know which
doing
one I'm
books.
in.
Oh yeah, there you are. She's in this one. She's in the Jumpstart Your Blank book, volume 4. And so I did these once a year, right? As you know, and I published um well, let Candy in. I published like over 80 people in these compilation books, most of which who had never had a book before, which I thought was amazing, right? Because they're like, yay, we have a book, right? It's a starter. It's like a baby step to writing your own book, um, a compilation. And then I was like, huh, I can do this for other people. So I do this now for a lot of other people, and either uh, I'll pull them together and their clients. So, like my client Mel Carr, she is a virtual assistant or owns a virtual assistant company. She pulled all her six-figure earner clients together, including me, to write a book called Six Figure Chicks. And this now has like 6 books in the series, you guys. She's on to like book number 6. She's doing a movement. They have like book launch parties and red carpet photo shoots now with Six Figure Chicks. It's insane how much she's done with this series. And she keeps changing the cover a little bit. And she does it by city now, like Phoenix, Scottsdale, Houston. Anyways, so that's that's my story. And I've done a lot of these types of books. I did one about gratitude. I've done one about downsizing. So there's lots of opportunity. And now I'm a full believer. Like, just write more books. The more books, the better, right? Because it's a very low investment to get into a book. Yes, you do have to pay to get into a book because books cost money and there's a lot of promotion and stuff. But it's a very low investment. And then depending on who you do it with, I have friends that do them, right? Do compilation book. And some people are better at marketing than others. I've been in a couple compilation books that didn't really do much because the gal that ran them or the person that ran them didn't really market very much. Um, Even Laurel Langemeyer, I was in one with her. If you guys know who Laurel Langemeyer is, she's like this big money, claims to make, millions of dollars. But she put us all in a book, sold us, and then didn't really do anything with it. And she said she was whatever. It doesn't matter. Like it's just okay. Now I'm in a book with Laura Langemeyer. It's whatever, whatever it is. But get in a book where someone's actually good about marketing, please. Okay, so today we want to talk about marketing the books. We want to talk about what kind of book could help you grow your business. That's where I'm coming from. If any of you want to write children's books or fiction, I can still help you. I can show you what to do. I'm all about like either empowering you and showing you what to do to get published and write the book and launch it or do whatever. I can teach someone, or I can do it with you, or I can do it for you. Okay. Now there's some things when I do it for you, you still have to do. I had my most recent client, Tiffany, who wrote The Entrepreneur's Guide to More Free Time. It just came out. We launched it in October, and she's still going through the paperback, editing and all that stuff. But she was like, I just want you to do it all for me. And I'm like, sure. And there's a little bit of work that you have to do. Like, because number one, you have to write it. That was the hardest part for her, right? And then when editing came around, she's like, holy mother, I have to go through all these edits. And I'm like, here's how you do it easier. So there are ways, okay? And there's a lot of different types of publishing people out there. I don't really call myself a publisher so much anymore as a self-publishing consultant or self-publishing support, okay? So I want you to publish the book under your name, your account, your thing, if you're doing your own book, because you don't want to be tied to a publisher, in my opinion, okay? Now, if you're some big celebrity, which not sure we have a lot of big celebrities on the call. I mean, we're all kind of just entrepreneurs, right? But if you're some kind of big celebrity like Brene Brown, yeah, you're going to go get your own publisher and they're going to pay you to write the book, right? But I don't think any of us are in that boat, right? Not yet. And so we are going to be self-publishing. And then some people uh, once you self-publish and show that you can sell some books and you have a following, then the big publishers might be interested in picking you up from there. Okay. Now, if you really want to get published by a big publisher, you need a book agent. That is not me. I know a couple though. Just let me know on the side. I'm happy to introduce you, but they have to love your book and want to shop your book. So they have to choose to shop your book to the publishers. Just that's how it's work. So before I dive into marketing strategies, I'd love to know like what are your questions about book publishing? And just either put them in the chat or come off and tell me. I'm going to start writing the questions down. I want to make sure that I answer those questions, but also um, format this in a way that makes sense. Anybody want to start us off? Did I answer some of your questions already? What questions do we have? Nobody has a question. You just came to hear me talk and talk and talk for an hour.
I got one.
Okay, Michelle.
Um, so I've got the book. How do you promote?
How do you promote? Okay. Okay. So perfect. We're going to get into the book marketing. Okay. Anybody else besides the book marketing stuff? Is that what you all came for? Or what? Is there some other questions? Because I don't think all of you are authors yet. But it is
So,
smart to think about the marketing before you write the book, honestly, because otherwise you come out, here's my book, and you don't know what to do with it, right? You don't have a plan.
I have a question. I have the copy of children's books written, and I have local artists illustrating them. But
Yeah.
from there, I guess my question would be, how much time do I put into book layout and design versus would an agent or a publisher or something else, how much effort would they want done already versus how much would they do?
Okay. Children's books are is it illustrated already?
The local artists have the artwork done, yes, but I haven't done page layout or anything like that.
Okay. All right. Um, so I've done a children's book and I don't have it here, of course. But it's a different kind of layout than the other nonfictions because it's full color, right? Everything's full color, and it's usually a different size. It's not your typical 6 by 9 book. So was that what you're thinking, like more of a square or something like that, a different size?
Correct. Yeah, either board book or paper book style.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
And you can still do them on Amazon. They just have different, and there's also Amazon or Ingram Spark to do them on. As far as the layout, honestly, I would go to Fiverr. I would go to Fiverr, and find, I have a great layout guy, but he doesn't do children's books. Okay. So I go to my guy who's on Fiverr and it's not that expensive. So you give them all the artwork, you tell them storyboard and all the things and the pages, and it's might not be more than $100, honestly. Like layout doesn't have to be that expensive. So if you're getting quotes for hundreds and hundreds of dollars, like, no, I wouldn't do that. But I can help guide you like a little bit. You need a cover design too. Do you have the cover?
No cover art done, no.
Okay. So yeah, I mean, you could do the inside first. So two different things you need designed in a book. You need the book cover, which is the front, the back, and the spine. And then you need the inside layout. Usually they're two different people that do those things. Okay. So the inside layout does the specs. So first you have to decide where you're going to self-publish this. Is it going to be Amazon? Because Amazon has different specs than Ingram Spark, perhaps, or Draft to Digital. Okay. So you have to find where you're going to publish it first and then find a designer or a layout person that does it in that platform and is an expert in designing layout in that platform. Make sense? You can say it.
Yes, thank you.
Okay. And then you want a different cover design. I have, let me put some links in the chat because I've done both. Do, 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 do. I should have these ready. Okay. I'll put these links in the I was trying to create a little Google Doc for you guys today. And it's not ready. You know what? I have links for all of these like resources. And if you guys put your email, most of you I think are on my, is anybody not on my email list that just came from Facebook? Or if you are, oh, maybe just put your email. Do you mind me adding you and I can add you to the publishing thing and all that? That'd be great. And then I'll send you everybody that's here. I took a snapshot. Let me take another snapshot of everybody that's here. If you could put your first and last name, if it's not already on the screen in the chat, that'd be great. And then I will send you a resources list with all the links to all the different platforms. Is that cool?
Mhm.
Okay. All right, good. Okay, because we could go down a rabbit hole with that, but is it Gina or Jenna? It might behoove you to have at least, I do like these one-off 90-minute brainstorming sessions. It might really be good for you to do that. Or if you haven't been on my email list, people that are know that I have a special right now through the month of November for 3 calls for $300. Normally it's $300 an hour or more. So you get 3 hours with me for $300. That would really help you answer all your questions, get all this shit done. And guide you in the right way so you don't waste a bunch of time and money in the wrong places. So I'm just saying, like, that's an offer if you're interested. I wasn't going to say that today, but that I don't, I wouldn't recommend trying to figure out, especially children's book publishing on your own. You're going to waste way too much time. So, okay. What other questions?
Sorry, are you willing to put that information in the email when you send all those
Of
resources?
course. Actually, I could
Thank
put
you.
it in the chat probably as soon as I figure out where I can get it from.
Amazing. Thank you so much.
Well, apparently, I'm unprepared with my Zoom blurbs today. I usually talk all about Zoom blurbs. Yvonne's been with me forever, and Grace, and I'm always like, you got to have your Zoom blurbs prepared so you can copy and paste them into the chat. And I'm not. I was sick. That's my excuse. Okay. What other questions do we have that haven't been answered yet before we get into book marketing? Just so I can make sure I include stuff. Candy, you're muted. Candy, you're muted. Candy, you're muted. You're on mute. Candy, sweetie, honey. You got to unmute. Sorry. It's a little voice thing on the bottom left, usually of your phone. Okay, we'll come back to you. Susie, question.
Yeah, hi. I don't know if this was for today or a different call, but how to find the right compilation project and how to
Yes.
get involved in that.
Compilation books. Yeah. And I know of 4 right now. And there's probably more. I just, off the top of my head, I know of 4. So, happy to answer that question because that is such an easier way. That's how you want to get started, right?
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. I was in 3 compilation books before I wrote my own first book because I was building the business. I didn't have time. I needed to get clients, make money. So it was easier just to write along like a chapter rather than, and then have somebody else do all the work, right? Okay. If there's no other questions, let me answer that question really quick, and then I'll get into the book of marketing. So the 4 books that I know of right now, mine, obviously, I have The Power of Connection. So the Power of Connection book is launching uh next summer. And basically we have Tammy's going to be in it. So she's writing about manifesting, right? The power of manifesting, something like that.
Yeah, either manifesting or healing and manifesting together. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so it's really kind of an open thing. It doesn't have to follow a, first of all, we don't have to know the name of your chapter yet. We just kind of have to know what you'd be like, what you would write about in the power of connection. It could be power of connecting with your clients, power of connecting with your bank account, the power of connecting with your health, the power of connecting with your audience, the power of connecting with yourself, so a lot of different things. Um, that can fit into connecting. Uh, and so that book is actually a super cool deal. It's been in my email for a little bit while. If you haven't seen my emails, you probably know if you have. Um, but it's only $797 for an investment right now. It's usually 2,400. I just wanted to get a book done, and I know times are like a little bit lean right now. Things are getting really expensive for us to just live. Talking about health insurance the other day with friends, and I'm like, oh my God, I don't know what to do. So, $800 to do that book. And then you get coaching calls. So we start the coaching calls on December 1st, where we're going to talk with authors about how to write their chapter, what to put in it based on what you're doing. Then, as we move along through the project, we'll talk to you about how to build your supporter list so you can get more people to support us in the launch. And then closer to the launch, we'll talk about book marketing and book launches and what to do in the book launch. And I feed you all the information. I give you all the stuff to do, everything you need to do. I talk about your web pages. I talk about how to drive people from your chapter to the website to get people on your list. I talk about after the book is done, what to do with it, a little bit about book marketing, like what we're going to do here. So the coaching calls alone, I mean, that's thousands of dollars in value. And I just decided to add a speaker summit next summer. So everybody who's an author in my Power of Connection book this coming year is also going to have a speaking role in the summit. So there's two things. So two fun things. We're going to have a book launch 1 month and then a speaker summit another month. So for $800, you can't freaking beat that because I usually charge speakers to speak on my summit at least $300 to $500. So it's the stupid, crazy deal. And I'm probably going to raise the rates actually because we've got about seven people in there, and I want 20. So hurry up and get in before I decide that it's too cheap. So there's that. Then one of my clients is doing the way she leads. The way she leads is excuse me, about leadership, right? So you can do like if it makes sense to you to write about leadership, you can write about it, but you can write way that I lead through my family or lead my clients to their success, or there's all kinds of ways to weave in how you've led. It could be how you've led through your life with it could be all kinds of things. So the way she leads is on sale right now. It's for 1900, I want to say. I don't know if they raised the price. Um, but there's 4 or 5 authors. They're looking for 20 authors also, and it will launch probably May 20th is the tentative deadline. So for both of those, chapters won't be due until February or something, so you have plenty of time to get in. So the way she leads is another one, and I want to say it's $1,900, but I'm telling them to raise it soon, so you'd want to get in. And I'm going to be hosting those calls too, so you'll have me on those calls because I'm doing the publishing and coordinating. And then the Six Figure Chicks book that I held up, she's looking for worldwide. You have to have 6 figures in your business. And I initially brainstormed the flow of these books. They're super fun. And so you'll be a part of a bigger movement if you want to do something like this. I want to say she's probably around 2,500, maybe more. I don't know, but I can put those links in as well. Um, and then, so that's more of like a movement, and she'll probably have events and all kinds of things. And you'll be with like 5 or 6 books of other authors. So it's a bigger thing. Um, And then I know of a friend of mine, Jackie, is hosting a book called Destiny Makers. So if you feel like that's more resonates with you, I don't know her pricing, but I can connect you with her. It's called Destiny Makers. So if you think you're, helping people with their destinies, that's what is that. So here's the link to um, the power of connection book opportunity. You can sign up right there on the page. Just click and it'll take you down. There's payment options too. So you can even have a 6-month payment plan. It's silly, ridiculous. I've never done it this cheap and I probably will never do it again. But I'm happy to do it. So jump in because it's going to be super fun. Then leadership. The way she leads. This one is here. The Way She Leads book is here, and you can read about that one. Let's see. 6-figure checks. If you go to 6-figure checks, here's the website. You can look more into it. And then I don't have the link for Destiny Makers. Let me know if you're interested in hers. But I can connect you. Okay. Susie, any of them sound good to you? Where'd you go?
I'm still here. Thank you. I'm gonna check them out. Thank you.
Okay. Yeah. And if you want to know like why a compilation book, they do fit. I mean, I've done so many, I can't even tell you. Uh, I did this one. Oh my God, I did this book. It's kind of a silly thing. This one's a silly one. Like it was $150 to be in this book. Who else is in this book? Anybody? I swear she has like 350 people in this book. Look how fat it is. It's just the book of words. We literally had like 2 pages. And so you pick a word. It was silly. That was $150. I was just trying to support my friend and be in that one. But it counts. It counts as a book, you guys. I was in this one, the 40/40 rules, women over 40 sharing wisdom. Um, and I don't really like her cover. Ugh, like that's kind of like a throw up of pictures on the back. But she's a really good friend. She did it differently where she just had people answer a bunch of questions and then they slapped it in a book. I don't really like that layout, but I was in that one too to support her. She was in mine, I was in hers, and there's many, many more like that. They're also different. So that's compilation books. Okay. Uh, Jolene, did you have a different question? You had your hand up a minute ago. No?
I've got a question. So how many people do they usually look for in doing a compilation book? Or does that,
Compilation books, yeah, mostly 10 to 20 people.
okay.
Yeah. And honestly, like it's a great income stream for the person who compiles it. So of course, they're going to make some money because they're doing this as a business model, right? Whoever's hosting the book.
Hmm.
But it is a lot of work, trust me. It's a lot of work to actually put a book together, read all these chapters, make sure they flow together, right? When I do compilation books, I read everybody's chapter. I'll even give specific feedback to like, I think you should add some more here, or this needs to probably come out because it's a little redundant, or I say it in a nice way, but didn't I, Grace? Did I do it okay? Did I say that? Okay. Put you on the spot. But some people will just slap together books. So you got to be careful because you want it to be a book that people like, oh, I really like the stories in this book. And then they pass it on and, that kind of thing. So
Mhm.
I take very much pride in the books that I do and the way people are writing. It's very important to me to make it a readable book and something people want to read. So not everybody does. Some people just want the money and slap you in a book, and then bada bang, they made a bunch of money, and you have something you're not as proud of. So I've just seen it way too many times.
How
Candy,
do
you had a
people, how
oh
do people who do the books decide what price to charge for the compilation?
yeah. Well, I think they're by the cost, right? So how much is it going to cost me to do the book? So I want to divide the cost, but I also need to pay for my time because it does take a lot of work to run the calls and at the end usually you get a certain amount of books in hand, so you have to buy the books and send them to the authors, so that has to be included. And then if you're using someone like me to help facilitate, of course they're paying me. So yeah, I don't know. It's tricky. It I advise people on that depending. I think anywhere between 1,500 to 2,500 is a fair price for a compilation book for what you're getting if they include a lot of stuff, right? Especially if they include speaker stuff. So yeah. I always encourage my authors to, or my compiling authors, to include extras, right? Like the way she leads, they're including another training program and some other things. So as much as they can. Yeah, it's the gal that's one of the gals that's co-hosting it runs the eWomen Network chapter up in Reno, Nevada. So, and the other gal's in that chapter. So I know them from there. Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense. I was just asking because I came across some people who've got the books, like the price you just mentioned. One, well, like when I did the book with you, I think it was almost 2,000, and then I've also seen 3,000, and then I've seen $500, and I've
Yes.
seen $300, and so I was just wondering
Yes.
how people
I
actually
I
sign.
was in one for $97, but we got zero books, we got zero calls, we got zero promotion. Who the fuck cares? Okay, like that was stupid. I have one copy of the book that I'm coveting because I don't think I can get any more. You know what I mean? Like to show proof. It's just silly. That's too cheap. So clearly she was just kind of doing something. I don't know. $500 barely covers your expenses, really, um, depending on how many people you have. And when you first compile a book as the compiler, and it's the very first time you're doing it, most people attract 7 and 9 people into a book. So if you charge too low, then you're not even covering your expenses, right? So people think they're gonna do a book and like that's what I thought. I thought I would get like all these people. I did get 26 people in my first book. But so many people think I'm gonna get 20 people in my first book. I'm like, huh, they're not used to seeing you do that yet. So it might take a little while. And another client of mine, um, she got like 9 people in her book, but it took her a year and a half. So we had to put off the book launch, which is totally fine. But she needed enough people. And it was just, she's not really that sales type person, right? So if you're a compiling author, you gotta sell the book to people. So yeah, Jolene.
All right. So I was up very late last night, so I'm just barely getting up. And so
Okay,
apologies
no
for
problem.
that part of it. But I was up very late because I'm almost done editing something that I'm sending to my daughter, who's a really good editor, part of it is to reconfigure it. I wrote it on my computer, so it's 8.5 by 11, and she's got to reformat it into 6 by 9 or whatever. So there's that one is in process. But the other one that I was going to ask you about, I wrote a training manual for therapists, and I intentionally did a spiral binding so they could open it and lay it flat. But you can't market spiral bindings on Amazon, so I'm having a hard time marketing it. I am just advertising it to therapists through Facebook therapist groups. So I need a broader way to market it. And I
Yep.
was also considering redoing it without the spiral binding. It's 8.5 by 11 to do it on Amazon as kind of a workbook. Thoughts?
Yeah, you can I would do without the spiral and do a workbook for sure. You can also do it on the Ingram Spark website, but that isn't like nobody really goes there to buy books. but you could print them there, right? I would consider maybe resizing that one into a 6x9 actual book, perhaps. Is it really writing lots of workbook stuff? If it
Uh,
is, then keep it as a workbook, but
no, it's not a lot of workbook stuff, but it's a lot of, there are scripts. I wrote it so that therapists could follow the scripts. So it's a
mhm,
lot of, that was why I did it, so they could lay it flat. Um,
I see. Well,
yeah.
first of all, I think you should be marketing it on your own website. Don't worry about Amazon, and direct market the people you want to buy it. It sounds like you want the therapist to buy your book, so you need to send them to your website, not Amazon, because then they get on your email list and then they get, you can market to them for other things. So it's once we do a book launch with the ebook, we don't do a book launch with the paperback. I'm just saying in general. Once we do the book launch with ebooks, I don't care if anybody buy. I mean, like, I don't focus on Amazon. I focus on my website. If I'm gonna sell paperbacks or even ebooks, I'll send to Amazon, but I'll get them on my email list first. Okay. And then take them over, sign up here. I'm going to give you this free thing, and then you'll be able to get the ebook, and you could give them a PDF of your ebook or whatever. But people that like ebooks want the ebook formatted correctly, which is on Amazon, through like an EPUB file or a Mobi file. And so, um, what was I saying? Boop, just like boop, just went poof out of my head. I love being 55. Uh, Yvonne, you're laughing at me.
I just turned 65, so that's why I'm
Just turned
laughing.
75.
Yvonne's used to me. I didn't used to do this so much in my 40s.
Welcome to the club, Katrina.
You
I
suggest
know.
getting your email list built up first before you do.
Yes,
There you
thank you.
go, right?
Thank you. So many people are so concerned with selling books on Amazon, and I'm like, stop it. Like, sell them on your own website. You need to, position yourself as an author. And like this guy that I was saying that had 5 different genres, I'm like, he has a job or something like that. He doesn't have a business. I'm like, first of all, a book is a business. So you have to treat it like a business. So if you have a job, you need an author website. If you have a business, you need a book page on your website, and you need to put your book and or books on the web page to sell them there through your merchant sales account. Click and buy with credit card. And yes, then you'll have to have some on hand, but you don't need hundreds on hand. Unfortunately, hundreds of people don't buy your book every week. Okay. I wish they did. And if they did, you could always just go order a bunch from Amazon and have them shipped to the person, okay, as soon as they made the order. So it doesn't matter. Um, I don't know if I answered your question, Jolene, but first, you said you were going to send this to your daughter,
Yeah.
do the layout. Unless she's a inside book layout person and knows all the specs, yes, you can download the specs from Amazon. I don't recommend having your daughter do it. It is so cheap to go. Like, how many words do you have in your book?
I
Like
don't know. It's
50,000, 25?
I don't know. That's a good question. I have no idea. I didn't
So
do a
it
word
goes by
count.
word count. It goes by word count. Editing goes by word count. Cost for editing and cost for layout goes by word count, not page count, because they don't know what size font you're using or if you're on Word doc or whatever. So if it's, say, 25,000 words, the whole document, then you're looking at maybe spending $40 for inside layout. Don't have your daughter try to figure it out and painstakingly do this. Just go spend $40, okay, and get it done right. So, I'm just saying, right?
I'm gonna do a word count right
Yeah.
now.
So there's that. And
Word count. Word count is about 50,000.
okay. So on a 6x9 book, that's a pretty fat book, right?
Yeah.
And which is fine, not a big deal. This is probably about 50,000 words, I'm guessing. And so you want someone to do it right, because it's not just making it 6x9. You need headers and footers and different gutters and things like that. And especially for the ebook, she won't have the software to do the ebook, right? So it's one thing to make a PDF, but the ebook is going to be a little bit more complicated.
Okay,
And
so who are you suggesting that does that? That
well,
does
I
that?
have somebody that does it. You can certainly go look online. I covet my guy because I don't want a bunch of people like attacking him. You know what I mean? Like, so I covet him. So if you're gonna do it through me, I just charge a teeny bit upsell and I'll handle the project for you. Um, so and then it's not that big a deal. But there's so many people out there that do it. Do you know what I mean? Teeny
What's
bit.
that called? What's that name of that thing called?
The Fiverr.
Yeah, no, but the name of the task. It's
Oh, um,
interior editing. It's what do you call it?
inside book layout.
Inside book layout. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I
Okay.
can handle it for you, and probably for 50,000 words, you're probably looking at 70 to $90, maybe 120 for ebook and paperback.
Okay. I will.
It's not that expensive. I wouldn't force
Okay.
anybody that I know to do it and try to figure
Okay.
that out for that
Okay.
cost.
Okay.
Okay, go. I'll tell it to you straight. Yvonne, question.
Yeah, thanks, Katrina. Okay, I noticed that you mentioned about putting the book on your website. I've always no, yes, I know about creating a page to promote your book on your website.
Mhm.
But my thought process was that I put share my book on Amazon, but I would include a free and a paid course, maybe free course. So in order for them to get that free course, they have to email me or they come to my page and sign up. So this way I'm able to get them on
Of
get
course.
readers on my email list. Your thoughts on that?
Of course, you do that also, right? So you'd
Mm-hmm.
want to do that also. Yeah. But you can't guarantee that people are going to come to your site, regardless if they buy the book on Amazon, right? So
True.
it's still smart to, hi, Kimberly. It's still smart to have it on your website and focus on the website. Like, especially if you're just marketing on social media or to your email list or somewhere, just send them to your website. Why would you send them to Amazon if they're internal people, right? If random people, so Amazon is for random people to find you. Random people find your book and buy it, then of course we want the marketing inside the book to tell them to come to the website and entice them as many different ways as we can to get them to come to the website.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But for people you're actively marketing to, no, I would send them to my website. So like I have a URL I bought for my books. So Jumpstart Bookstore takes you to my book page on purpose. So jumpstartbookstore.com, right? So you could
Okay.
do something like
Thank
that.
you.
Now I have all the other domain too, loveyourselfsuccessful.com. I have jumpstartyournewbusinessnow.com. I have all the domains for all the books, but I just do Jumpstart Bookstore, so it makes it easy.
Thank
We're
you.
just doing Q&A right now, and I'm going to dive into some marketing. So one more question, and then I'll do some marketing tips. Candy, yes.
Okay, am I on mute now?
Yes.
Yes, okay. What I was thinking earlier was that you had guided me through possibly doing I don't know if you're calling it collaboration, but or compilation
Yep.
but it's with another person.
Yep.
And that person, even though we have say 3 dozen chapters, that she's
Mhm.
starting to go off on a tangent and it's not related to the general topic that I wanted to talk about. So I wanted to ask you, how many subjects or topics do you think would be would fit into a particular book, or is it time to go on to a second book? Any tips on that area?
Well, this is 26 authors with like a
Yeah.
1,500 word chapter.
Yes.
So I don't think I would make it any fatter. We don't want books like this. We don't want big old fat books. Nobody wants a big old fat book. No,
How
I'd
many
much rather
words?
have three skinnier books than one fat book.
How many words is that fat book and the other one you showed
I
us?
have no idea, but it's a 5.5 by 8.5. It has 550 pages.
Okay.
Like, no, thank you. Like, it's a heavy, I think it's a pound. I think it weighs a pound or something.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, so if I was her, I would have a series, right? I had 6 of these, one a year for 6 years. So I just would put people into the next book.
Awesome. Yeah,
Yeah.
great tip. Thank you.
All right.
Okay.
And I'm putting all those links in the chat again in case you guys are interested in those compilation books. Boop, 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 boop. Okay. There's 3. I have the 3. They're back in the chat. I would love to know. I would love to have some of you in it. All of you would be great, in especially the power of connection. I'm looking to get people in that right now. We're starting December 1st on our calls. So, um, let's talk marketing. So you have a book. We already talked about Amazon versus your website. So please have a compelling web page that, so you need a few different web pages, right? You're going to need, and this confuses some authors when I tell them. So when they're writing a book, I say, okay, you need to entice people to come back to your website from the chapter or the book, right? So when you're writing the book, so you need to give them some kind of free thing to get uh to come to your website, because if they're the random person that buys it on Amazon, somebody the other day signed up for my email list, said he bought my book and he's signed up for a call with me this week or whatever. I'm like, you bought my book? Where'd you buy my book? He must have bought it on Amazon, right? Because he didn't buy it from me. And so random people buy your book. He's like, I bought your book, I read it all. I'm like, holy shit, who is this guy? Right? Anyways, so for random people, what are we going to weave in through the book? So it's not just about the thing at the end, like having one thing at the end. It's weaving it through the book. So after every chapter, you might have, of course, so it doesn't have it. You might have a call to action after every chapter, or an exercise or a journal exercise or something, right? And then I had one client, I don't have her book yet in print, but it was so fat. It was probably 60,000 words by the time she was done. And she had so many different exercises. She's a coach, right? And so many different exercises. I'm like, sweetie, we gotta split this up. We've got to make a book and a workbook. And that's what she did. And it came out beautiful because she just had too much. She wanted to put it all in one thing, and it was going to be too fat and too many different things that you had to write in. And so now she has a 6x9 book and an 8.5x11 workbook. And she's doing retreats and workshops with her workbook and her book. And she could sell it as a package for more. So think about that if you have too much content or too many exercises, right? Um, so then, um, so then the stuff that you put in the book, don't just put it at the end, although we need, I call them sales pages at the end. So at the end, we want pages where, like this one, she has her podcast, right? Come and check me out on my podcast. Um, then she has another book. So just go buy my other book, and book me to speak, right? So these are what I call sales pages, and they go at the end so that people that do read your book can learn more. Work with Michelle, so she has her stuff here on how to work with her and all of that. So you'd have to do that. That's probably one of the biggest mistakes I see people don't do. So there's that, what to put in the book for that. Now, when you have your book and you have, a certain amount in hand, maybe 30, but I always keep like 10 to 20 books on hand now. But because I have a lot of books, so if you just have one, I might keep like 30 books on hand because I go to trade shows. I just went to one last week, where I had a table display and I sold a book, and you bring books with you. So you want to have books on for display whenever you're going to something. You also, something I love to do is a book contest, like a book giveaway. And the reason I do book giveaways is because I can get mailing addresses. Okay, so it's not just the best. I mean, yes, you can get them on the email list when they buy a book, or the people that are already on your email list. You can get them to want to buy the book. But then after maybe you promote the paperback and you get all the people to buy your paperback book, then maybe do a book contest like a couple months later that's like, okay, I'm giving away 10 copies of my book. Whoever didn't, pick one up, or maybe you want an extra one from a friend, you can enter to win. And then you take them to a page on your website where they have to enter their full contact information because you have to sign it and ship it to them. So they have to give you their accurate mailing address, right? And phone number is in there too. So that way you get more contact information. Why do you want more contact information? Because you need to be mailing people, frankly. I just sent out a whole bunch of cards. Like, you got to be mailing people in your database things from you, hello there, you got to mail things in the mail, to get people's attention. You can do cards for the holidays. You could do whatever. I have all kinds of cards, follow-up cards from events, follow-up card from another event. The goal is to, in the broader sense, get people's emails, their phone numbers, and their mailing addresses. So you can continue to marketing in those three different ways, phone and text, right? So really four different ways. So in order to do that, you have to do fun contests to get more mailing addresses. That's one thing. So some of your speakers, I think, I'm pretty sure. And so another thing with speaking is, okay, there's three ways to speak, right? There's the free speaking, the paid speaking, and then the pay to play speaking. So when you're doing free talks, you're not going to get, you can give away a book at the end. If you're not able to make an offer, meaning a paid offer, and you can't offer something for pay, you can say, hey, I'm going to give away one of my programs, or I can give away two of my books. And then you have to talk about it. So when you're doing a free talk and you can't sell, then you want to give something away. A book is a great thing to give away. Sometimes I go to events and I'm the speaker and I give everybody a book. Why would you do that? Because you want to make the money to sell it. Yes. And I know that my books are really good. And once the right people read it, they end up hiring me for $10,000, $20,000 of business. Okay. So sometimes it's good to give the books away in swag bags. I've done that before. I know you want to market and sell, but that's why it's good to have a smaller book, because it's less expensive to print, and maybe it's only $2 to print. So think about it. I mean, you buy pens with your logos on them, right? You buy all kinds of swag with your logos on them. I buy these Stop It buttons with my logo, my website on them. These were like $5 a piece cost, okay? So my books are less expensive than the damn Stop It buttons that I buy as tchotchkes to give away. Why not give a book that's going to be so much more impactful for the right people who read them, right? So I'm just saying, like, that's my philosophy around marketing. So when you're speaking, though, for like paid speaking, if you're getting paid to speak, they're going to have a marketing materials budget too. So you always want to ask, hey, would you be interested in using your marketing or materials budget to buy copies of my books for everybody in the audience? So that's like something people a lot of time forget. They will go and get paid to speak or speak somewhere and not ask that question ahead of time and then try to sell everybody the book, instead of ask ahead if they have a budget to buy books for the audience. Same thing goes for Jolene, who said she's targeting therapists, associations, right? Go to associations, buy a vendor table, buy an exhibitor table at the places where your target audience is, please. I do that all the time, and I sell books, and I get people on my email list, and I bring people into calls and all kinds of other programs. So it just makes sense. I'm going to stop talking for a minute. What kind of questions do you have? I mean, there's so many things to market. I could be here for 2 hours. But those are the biggies that I think a lot of people don't do and forget. You have to hop off, Tammy. Okay. Any questions? I can hang out for a little bit after the hour.
What about doing promotions through local bookstores, things like that? Do you recommend that at all?
Bookstores. Yes, I've tried, and some will, some won't. so what? You just move on, right? So
Okay.
but it's a very time consuming thing. So to get into bookstores, this is what you have to do. So in Amazon, Amazon and Ingram Spark and Draft to Digital, those are the three main um, publishing websites, whatnot. Amazon, everybody knows because it's Amazon, right? And if you check expanded distribution, they will actually put your book over into Ingram Spark, but under Amazon. So they'll be in control of your book under Ingram Spark, which then gets it on the book list. Getting doesn't guarantee anything about getting it into stores. It's on a book catalog list. Okay, so even if you go straight to Ingram Spark yourself, which if you want to be more in charge of your book and you want to go to local bookstores, then you want to create your own account on Ingram Spark. Okay.
Okay.
Um, let me just pull up these links. Hold on. I know I have them here. Here's the draft to digital one. Draft to digital is more ebook focused, but I think they're doing both now. They're making a comeback on doing some different things. So it might behoove you to put your books over there on draft to digital also. Um, I just signed up for that. I'm looking into it more. Most of the time, I just do my books on Amazon. I've not ever put anything on Amazon or draft to digital or Ingram Spark because I don't care. I want to get books into hands of people who are going to read it and then hire me. I don't care about the bookstores. It's too much work and too much trouble for very little money. And so it's not worth it to me. So, excuse me. Mm. But you're welcome to. You're welcome to look into it.
Hmm.
Excuse me. I am having a coughing fit. Let's see. Ingram Spark. Let's see. Ingram Spark is here. I do have an account over here. It doesn't really cost you that much to put your books there and you can print there. What I've been recommending lately for some clients, because if we have a book launch for the ebook, well, we always launch with an ebook because there's, hi Elaine, we started an hour ago just in case you got your time zones wrong, but we're still here so you can answer questions. Um, uh, oh my goodness.
Hey.
Cough
Hi,
up.
Chris. Hi, Chris.
Uh, as was I saying? Ingram Spark. Oh, that's where the book catalog is that will allow, that's where book stores shop to decide what they want to put on their shelves is Ingram Spark. If you do the expanded distribution on Amazon, you get in that list because they put their stuff through Ingram Spark. Because I talked to somebody at Ingram Spark, and what they said was it's fine to do that. It's the same. It's just you're not in control of your book over there. If you want to be in control of your book and take more action trying to get into bookstores, then I would do your own account on Amazon. Do not press the expanded distribution link, and then go put it also on Ingram Spark, and then put it expanded on Ingram Spark. Does that make sense? That's what I was told. So, and then you're just going to have to go out to your local bookstores yourself and shop it and say, hey, I've got this book. It's in Ingram Spark. You can get it in the shelves and da 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 da. Just make sure you design it professionally because if you don't, they're going to be like, kick it back. Okay. And you have to fill out so much more information on Ingram Spark you have to basically sell your book in the questions they ask you. Like there's a lot. There's a lot in there. I was like, nah, I'm not gonna do that.
So
So
that's part of the metadata creation and all that.
what do you mean?
Well, I know that before for Amazon, I had to do all of the metadata for where I wanted it, how it would present, those types of things. So is that part of what you're talking about, or is that completely just selling it
You have to sell
self-promotion.
it. Yeah. I
Okay.
mean, you don't want to just loosely put a couple lines of information, is my point. You're going to want a detailed, all kinds of detail. And you're going to want a professional looking website, and you're going to want to make sure you look the part, right? So you're going to have to look good for them to put you on the shelf, in my opinion. You got to sell yourself, just like
Okay.
anything. Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. I know. Pain in the ass, right? Okay. 3 compilation books. Elaine, you just joined us. Did you have questions specifically? We've kind of answered most people's questions here today. And we did talk about 3 different compilation books that are looking for authors, if that's what you're doing. And I put them in here on the chat just now. So
Yeah, I was curious. I have a book. It's on Amazon. I self-published, I think like 8 or 9 years ago.
mhm.
And I forget that it's even on there. So it's nice to, get a little check here and there.
Yeah.
Nothing awesome. But
Yeah.
my sister just wrote a children's book, and I try not to be negative Nelly with her, but I think she thinks she's going to be the next, Wayne Dyer with her book. And I'm like, if you're writing a book because you want to make $1 million, that's the wrong thing to do. But I was curious on the collaborative books. I know a lot of people do them where each person does a chapter. I know Molly has one, and I've bought several of them.
Yeah.
And I've tried to get that started in my wheelhouse of hairstylists, but I found it really difficult to get chapters from people to stay on them. Like, I don't know if you talked about that already. I was on Molly's call and then I saw your
That's okay.
message and
No, that's cool. Um, so the thing is, not everybody thinks they need to be an author. And so if we're talking about hairstylists, they're probably like, what's that going to do for me? You know what I mean? Is that what you're
no,
talking
they're
about?
into it. Like they say, yes, oh my gosh, I would love to do that. And then I'm like, okay,
But they don't see
I
the
need
value
I
in
need
paying
something
to
by
be
this
in it.
deadline. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, if they see the value and they're willing to pay, I was talking earlier about the price points and how they're different. And, I've paid anywhere from $97 to $3,500 to be in a compilation book myself. Right now, the $97 one and the $500 one really didn't do much and didn't really do anything for my business because the person didn't know how to market and they didn't know how to price and they didn't know what they're doing. Right. But I was in it because it was cheap and might as well. The ones that are, people put some effort into, you got to, the person, whoever's running the book needs to know how to market and needs to do calls with their authors, which is what I do with my own books or my authors' books. So I run compilations for people where I do the calls with your authors and you and teach them what they need to know and all the things, right? And make sure, and then I do it all for them. If is that what you're asking? Like, how does it work to do
So
a
the
compilation?
part that gets tricky for me is with my business. I'm in the hair world and I'm an educator. I have a really nice audience, and every once in a while I get this, crazy idea to do something collaborative, and it
Yeah.
always ends up biting me in the ass, to be honest. So I have this dream of this book where each chapter I talk about a topic and then I bring in all these different people that have big audiences in the industry and have them answer whatever that question is. So I don't know whether that's something that if they just do it out of the kindness of their heart and contribute and then give them an affiliate code where if they sell the book they get a percentage. Like I never looked at it as them paying me to be in it, but I
Oh,
don't know how to
yeah.
pay them
Okay.
basically.
So, well, let's talk about the celebrity authors versus the regular authors. So, normally, when you create, this was my very first compilation book that I did, Jumpstart Your Blank. And then the authors would fill in the blank. If they're a sales trainer, jumpstart your sales. If they're a health, jumpstart your health, right? And so that was my theme that went with my business. Then it, oh, shit, I'm having brain parts today. I'm sorry. Like, over 50.
Welcome to the club.
I
I just
know.
spent 5 minutes trying to come up with the word thumbnail for my daughter. I was like,
They,
the box that I'm like, oh my God. And then
oh
of
my God,
course
I
it
do that
came.
all day, every day. This is crazy, you guys. Seriously. Um, and so, first of all, to do this kind of a book, it's going to cost I mean, cover design, I can get it done for 400 bucks. Inside layout, I can do for 120, maybe 150, depending on how fat it is. Um, the editing is the wild card in the cost of a book because editors usually charge by the word or sometimes by the page. And um, it can be anywhere from $1,000 or $800 to $3,500 for an editing a book, right? So, and then there's help with the launch or help with the marketing or help with, the support of getting it out there. That's what I do is I do the project management of it all. So you want to look at the cost of putting the book together and what you're going to spend to get the book done, launched and printed, and then figure out, okay, how many chapters does it make sense to have or whatnot? And then how can I get that money paid to me so that it doesn't cost me anything to get the book done, but then it still provides value. And so there's a fine line in there. And usually the price that people charge is anywhere from 1,500 to 2,500 typically, sometimes a little bit more. Like for my compilation book that I'm doing right now, The Power of Connection, it used to be 2,400 for these books, and I'm doing it for $800 this year. But I'm also throwing in a speaker summit. So that's another idea. Now, do hair people care about speaking? I don't know. But most of my entrepreneur clients do. And so that's extra added value and a second event. So you have one event to do the book launch and one event to do the speaker summit. So double the promotion, double the exposure, visibility, credibility in that kind of an opportunity. So therefore, $800 to $2,400 makes a lot of sense to invest in something like that. Now, I also, you can do coaching calls with your authors. Excuse me. I do like 6 to 8 coaching calls usually through a book process where I talk about a lot of people don't know how to write. When I did this first one, I got 26 authors and 26 different writing styles, like 26 different written chapters. I had no idea that people didn't know how to write a chapter of a book. I was like, oh, I'm in English. I got to go fix these chapters, right? So to make it readable. So you do have to educate your authors on the flow of the book, what to recommend, how they write it, and all the things. And then we gotta talk about marketing because some people are really savvy at marketing, and you can just say, here's your email copy, here's your image, here's your post, go. And they'll be like, okay, and they'll know exactly what to do. And other people will be like, what do I do with this? Where do I go? How many times do I post? How do I
These
do this?
people.
What platform should I put my email on? And so you have to teach that, right? So some of the calls are for that. Not a problem. When I do books, I always do all of that. So some people don't need it, but a lot of people do. And then it's about the launch and building supporters. And some people have a list, some people don't have a list. So we have to talk about how to, talk to your social friends and followers to try to get people to promote. And some people never do that. Some people are really on it. So, there's just a lot involved. So those coaching calls alone could be thousands of dollars in value. So if you add up all the value you're giving them, right? That and, oh, we're going to give you 10 copies of the book or 20 copies of the book when it's over. Okay, that costs money, right? Out of your pocket. So you got to look at that. I'm just, adding up the value of all the things. And oh, it's going to be a bestseller because all of my compilation books have gone international bestseller. So I can't imagine it wouldn't. So you're going to get that status on top of that. I don't know. You just add up the value and then it makes more sense when you're selling it to somebody. Now, when you have a celebrity, like my very first book,
None
I
of them are
had,
celebrities.
but you said somebody higher up in the market that everybody would know,
Just
right?
no, just well known in the industry. They're not even close to being celebrity
Okay.
status. They just
Well,
have,
if
you
they,
know,
yeah, because
visibility, I should say.
I added like 4 people, I think, in this book. 4 people that they have the bigger pictures, and I chose to give them a free chapter in return for marketing the book because they had a big following, right? So they had a big following. They know how to market. They already had a bunch of books. They didn't need to pay for it. They didn't need to be
Right.
in the book, but I offered a featured author spot to some people because I knew that I had to get to international bestseller on that first one, right? So I gave up the money on those ones. but got plenty of others. So that's kind
And
of
then what does that look like when they do it free? Do you give them percentage of every book that's sold? Do you
no.
give them the opportunity to sell
Nobody
the
gets
book?
money from the book sold. You're the publisher, you're the compiling author, all the money goes to you, but they can sell the book on their own website, right? If they want and buy more copies. So all of my authors can buy more copies of their book anytime. They can buy it at author cost and then go sell books at trade shows or to speaking events or on their own website or give them to clients or give them out, right? So nobody makes money on the books that are sold through Amazon because you're the person and there's no reason to. That's very little money, like you said. There's
Right.
very little money
Exactly. That's why
to
I'm
have
like,
to worry
I
about.
don't know that they would be interested in doing it if there's nothing in it for them.
Well, what's in it
So
for
that's
them
where
is
I get stuck.
promotion, credibility, authority, being a book, being a bestseller. That's what I'm saying with a featured author, right? Why would they pay to be in the book when they, so you can give some away to some people who you know would be a big draw. And I promised I was going to announce on this call. So Jill Lublin's going to be in the Power of Connection. And so she's a four-time uh, New York Times bestseller. So she's going to be in this book. But so that's what you do. You bring in a couple people that might be a good draw to boost the sales of the other people. Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
So,
Thank you.
yeah, and then you hire me to do all the work, and then I do it all for you. And everything's under your brand and under your company. I don't put it under me. Um, I act as more of a self-publishing consultant support kind of person. So I do just as much as you need help with. I have all the resources for cover editors, all the things, so you don't have to worry about any of that. And then I guide you and the authors through the whole process with a timeline and everything you need to know. And I have instructions on all the things and videos and all the things. So I make it really easy for someone to do their own compilation book with their authors and or be in a book. That makes sense. Okay, Cynthia, you've been quiet. What were you thinking?
I'm thinking how great this was to be in this session before I meet with you for our coaching.
Okay,
This
good.
has been a lot to take in, so much great information, and I'm so excited to have our meeting start next week.
Yeah, because you're writing your own full book, right?
Yeah,
Okay. And
yeah.
so we're getting that done for next year. Yes, launch.
Yeah, yeah. But looking forward to having you guide me. I think one of the biggest things that I'm experiencing in this call is how many different directions I can go because I don't know exactly what I thought I knew what I wanted to write my book on, and I'm starting to change. So I think honing in that brainstorming and being able to really collaborate with what does somebody want to read? And I'm really seeing the sessions with you being brainstorming related. So
Yeah. And honestly, you don't have to hire me for the whole full thing. If anybody's interested, we could do a series of calls. So Cynthia took me up on the 3 calls for $300 and it's so worth it, you guys. We can talk books, we can talk business, websites, technology, marketing, whatever it is you need. It's in my email. You just have to take action. Like as soon as you sign up, then you get the calendar and you can get on my calendar. So I would not wait on that. There's a couple of you, I think Michelle's already doing it too, right? Michelle, you're doing that, I think. Yeah. So literally, it can help you get a lot of questions answered about all these things and specifically for your book and the things that you're writing. So that would be a good deal. Okay. If there's nothing else,
I have a comment for Elaine.
yeah.
Yeah. Um, I
For
did
me.
a talk years and years ago about kind of the gist of it. I'm a psychotherapist, and the gist of it was you don't want to hire me to do your hair. Do you really want to talk about all of the personal details in your life to your hairstylist in a salon with other people sitting around? It was a thing on tips for hairstylists, of what to say or not say when people start talking about their personal lives and when to refer them
You're
to
fine.
somebody else.
Well, FYI, she's gone. So, but yeah, she left the call. And I just put the link to my email in the chat that has that 3 for 300 deal if you're interested, Jolene. Okay. That's all I had. I'll talk to Cynthia and Michelle soon. Yeah.
Did you say that we need to schedule on your calendar for our first
Yes, I
coaching
texted
calls?
you. I texted you the link.
Okay,
I
sounds
want
good.
to
I'll get on
say
that.
today or yesterday because I
I'll
saw
get
that you
on
weren't
that.
on there yet.
Okay.
Okay, sweetie.
Thank
You're
you.
Thank
welcome.
you. Thank you,
So
Katrina.
helpful.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Excited to talk to you
Bye.
more.
All right.
Bye.